Uh-oh.
Got another Napa bill. Oh, I'm not giving that to Bridget.
Give it to Bridget. Don't put it over there.
Not it.
All right, guys, it's Clinton from CNC Equipment. Mr. Kevin is around somewhere. This morning, we've got the shop truck back in here again. So if you guys have not seen, there's a bunch of videos on this thing. There's a playlist down below, 7.3 shop truck build. I bought this truck out of Canada. It did not look like this whatsoever. Put a bed on it, yanked out the gas drivetrain. We've got a built 7.3 diesel in it. But our plans today is this: we're going to re-gear this thing. This thing is geared super low. It's actually got 513 gears in it, which is like grandma gears, isn't it? What is it, snack time? So this truck originally had a 460 gas motor in it, like I just said. And with 513 gears, I got a little chart here I got to find. 513 gears running at 2250 RPM, you're going to go 52 mile an hour in fifth gear. So it's screaming. If you hit 60, it's screaming. So, you know, a diesel only wraps up to about 3,300, which you don't run them that high. So anyway, we're going to drop a set of 410s in here. So 410s at 2250 RPM is 65.73 mile an hour. So that's like almost 13 mile an hour difference just by doing that gear change. So a couple reasons they use low gears in these things. For one, they were just two-wheel drive trucks originally. You guys can see this one's four-wheel drive, so it's been converted. So the two-wheel drives, you get them loaded 15,000 pounds and you get off-road, they're going to struggle to take off in first gear in that soft ground, so they geared them low for that reason. Second reason is they were only like 215 to 225 horsepower back in the day. So that being said, we have a transfer case now, so we've got low range, so we don't need those lower gears, do we? Because we can just drop her down a gear. And we've got like way over twice the horsepower too. So we're not worried about those 513 gears. So we're going to pull them out, put a set of 410s in it, which is still going to be pretty low for this truck, but keep in mind I don't drive it on the highway. If I do want to tow something with it, we'll still have the gear set for it. So I've got stuff ordered for the back. I know what it is. It's actually a Dana 80 axle. We can put a 410 gear set in it without changing much stuff, pretty easy. The front is the only unknown situation. Like I say, these trucks are custom built. This one was built by a company called Quigley Conversions. And I know the center section is a Dana 70. It says right on here. The only thing that worries me, I can buy a Dana 70 gear set. I'm worried about, I know the outer sections are actually just Dana 60s on this truck. Now I've got another one of these trucks and it has Dana 70 outers. It has the Dana 70 hubs and stuff on it. This truck has Dana 60 hubs with the 30 spline axle shafts out here. So the Dana 70s use a 35 spline axle shaft. So I'm kind of worried. I don't know what's going on inside this landing here before we go ordering parts. And apparently these companies, when they converted these trucks, used all kinds of axles from different manufacturers over the years. I do know this axle's stamped, it was built in 92. Now this truck's a 95. So what we're going to do, it's going to be 2 or 3 days getting parts. I'm going to yank this whole front end apart. Kevin actually just took it apart in one of the last videos, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now you get to take it apart again.
Oh, good.
Now you know what you're doing. So we're going to yank everything out, pull the axle shafts out, and see what we got going inside that front end for sure. So get a measurement on the ring gear. Another issue is on the Dana 70, I've read the carrier is going to be different from 456 gear ratio on up into your 5s and 6s. Use the same carrier. When you go 410 and down, it uses a different carrier because of that spacing on that ring gear and pinion gear. So I think we're going to have to change the carrier out on this one. I'm not sure yet. So, but the safest thing to do is to get it all apart and see what parts we need to order and tear it down, and then we'll be back when we get our parts, hopefully. So that sound like a plan? So I had a lot of people ask and said, how do we work on brakes and wheels and stuff with our lifts that go under the wheels?
We don't.
We don't, do we? You guys can see we actually got 4 of these jack stands. They're made by the same company, Rotary Lift. What are these things rated at? Like 10 tons? It's pretty big. So What we'll do, we'll just put 2 of those jack stands down there and let them down off the tires. And
13,000 pounds a piece.
13,000, that makes sense because each one of those lifts is 13,000. So those are going to replace these 2 lifts here. We'll roll those out. You think you got that up a little high? That's fine for me. I'm just looking at this height here. Is the eyeball level? Oh, you got to tippy toe it, aren't you?
That way I can put my eyeball right in there.
You want to set that dude down and we'll roll out our lifts magically?
Okay.
You got the magic button somewhere? You done lost it, didn't you?
Yeah, it's Monday.
It's over in this mess over here. There it is. It's on your Menard shelving. Somebody texted me. Yeah, I'll just let that down. Should be fine, Kevin. This one's out. That one's out. There you be, one floating truck. You can put them under your Menard steps. They'll hold it, right? Don't be scared. So we're going to start working on getting all this stuff yanked apart. We'll probably get the hubs and tires and stuff off. We're not going to bore you with that. If you watched the last video, you've seen some of that taking place when we put brakes and greased the front hub. So once we get all that pulled off, we'll probably bring you guys back in when we get to the spindles, and then we'll yank the axle shafts out and see what's under door number 1. All right, so we got the hub stripped, got the spindle off this side, and I was actually really impressed. The spindle just fell right off with a little tappy tap of the hammer. You guys ever worked on these 4-wheel drive trucks, you know that never happens, isn't that right?
That's right, bud.
Usually these things get rusted on, something fierce. You guys remember last time we repacked these wheel bearings and found this damage on here, probably from a failed bearing originally. So yeah, I've had these things on where you're heating, beating, and pulling, and everybody's making fun of me for buying a truck from Canada. It was all rusty, but this thing come from so far up north they didn't use any salt on the road. So you're getting the whole shebang, ain't you?
It's coming out as one big.
Go for it. Oh, you got it. Seals like brand new in there. So look at all this nice red grease. It's like somebody just greased this thing.
Really?
You wanna grab that? We're gonna pull the axle shaft out of the hog's head. I wonder how many splines we got there. Are you good at counting?
No, I ain't never.
We can figure it out. We can figure it out here in a second. So we'll pull this other one out, and then we'll pull this diff cover off and see what all we got going on in here. I got you another surprise. Those are heavy duty, ain't they? Looks like they got big inners and they just put little outers on it, didn't they? You guys can see how much bigger that inner shaft is compared to that out one. We'll get a spline count on that, and that'll give us kind of an idea of what's going on here. So we'll drop this cover off next. The smell. Ooh, that smell. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a present for you.
Thank you. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's kind of heavy. Up. I marked them. Put a D on there. Might take a picture of that too here. Just, you never know what could happen. Okay. You always got the light in the way for it.
That's you.
Gosh. Shouldn't fall out if it's in there, right?
If. It doesn't matter, it's not going back in, right? We'll sell this on Facebook Marketplace.
Is that right?
Slightly used when it hits the floor.
She tight? Nope.
Not really.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
What?
Is this tie rod in her way?
Yep.
Yep, who does that stuff?
See, it's like an anti-slip thing.
It won't fall out.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we're gonna pop the tie rod loose over it, don't it? Why'd you do that?
No, I'll go back in.
I'll just leave it. It ain't gonna fall, right?
So the tie rod pops loose.
I'm gonna have to get out my pickle fork tool. Pop the tie rod loose.
What are you doing? Put an airplane?
Whack it! Whack it with the hammer. Oh, is this another one of these?
About had a second booby trap, didn't we?
You got all that girth there?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the bearing as well. Alright, there we go.
Got her?
Yep, yep.
All right, so we got that out. And one way, if you don't know your gear ratio and it's not labeled on any tags out here or anything, you can actually count the number of teeth on the pinion shaft here. This is where the drive shaft comes in at. Count the number of teeth on there, and you can count the number of teeth on the ring gear over here and divide those, and that will give you the gear ratio. So we should be at 513 according to the sticker in the door jamb. These trucks only come with a 488 or 513, so we should be one of the two. Kevin's counting them now. You want me to start yelling out numbers? So I'm gonna get out my trusty calculator.
41.
41 divided by, what did I say, 8?
8.
5.125. I said 513, I was off 0.5, 0.005. All right, my suspicions come true. So I'm gonna measure this stuff up. We did check those. Those do have 35 spline inners, but they got 30 spline outers. So whatever Quiggler, whoever, they actually put Dana 60 hubs and probably knuckles and everything on the outsides with 10 lugs. Don't know why they did that, but probably because parts are easier to get. So anyway, we do have a Dana 70 inner, and I've got to check here. I think we're gonna get different gear. The reason is when we go to the lower, or actually higher gear set, it's actually numerically lower, is that right? The pinion's gonna get bigger over here. And when it does that, because the pinion's gonna have more teeth on it, isn't that right? You don't know. So our new 410 gear set, this pinion's gonna be bigger, and when it does that, it's gonna set that ring gear over this way more. So we're gonna have to get a different carrier, because I told you guys I had to break it to 456 range. That carrier's gotta be sitting over more. That makes sense?
Sure.
That's a little bitty in there.
Sure.
More teeth are better, right?
That's right.
I mean, it's what we think's right. It sets over one way or the other is all I know. So anyway, I'm gonna get all it figured up, get some parts ordered, and then we'll be back probably next week or so. I gotta go to auction. We've got a couple dozers to work on here, so we're just getting that tore apart this morning to see what we needed. All right, we're back with some parts. I went to auction for a few days, but I come back and we got a bunch of new parts sitting here. We got new ring gears and pinions, and I actually, when I left you guys off here last time, I believed, I was telling you I had to get a different carrier because of the gear ratio difference. So you guys can kind of see this new one here I just got sitting a little bit lower. The reason is, you see this new pinion gear is actually bigger than the old one here. So that being said, that ring gear has to sit a little bit farther off in the case. So We got this different carrier. I believe this was for a 410 and down ratio. They had a jump from 456 and up. So since we're going from 513s to 410s, we got to change out that carrier. So I've got to use all these old spider gears and stuff. I'm going to stick those in the new front carrier here. And then we got to start messing the bearings or shims and all kinds of stuff here. We got to get shimmed up. So I'm still waiting on a bearing kit too for this front axle. So hopefully it shows up here shortly. If not, we can probably reuse the old bearings are just fine. Anyway, we can get them pulled off and save them. We did get a shim pack too, so we should be good on that part. But I'm gonna set you guys up here in time lapse. I get this stuff all swapped around, get the ring gear bolted on here and the bearings pulled, and then we'll get it maybe thrown up in the truck. All right, how we do?
We did good.
We got a bunch of new tools here we bought. It actually worked really well.
We learned about spider gears.
Yeah, we got the spider gears in there. We got the bearings. We actually reused all the old bearings. This front end's not been used very much, and that part's not important. And our bearing kit did not come in. So, what are you looking at?
That bearing.
Which bearing?
It's this bearing. It's not round.
It's got a washer on it.
No, that's not round. Look.
What do you mean it's not round?
You see that?
I think you've been drinking.
No, no, no. It's not round right there. Right there. See that?
You mean the cage?
Yeah, but look at it.
That part's optional.
Okay. Never mind.
Cage just keeps them
Let's
in there.
Let's just go with it.
That just keeps them retained till the race is in there.
That's right.
It's probably that way since it's been new.
Sure.
Anyway, we're using old bearings. They're fine. Kevin's just been
You're
drinking.
just worried.
You're worried about stuff that ain't important. We got our new ring gear on there. We're gonna go put this pinion in here. We're gonna use all the old shims and see how that works out for us. We got new shims here, but we're gonna start with the old ones. These don't have the adjusters on them like some do, so they actually got shims on both sides of this ring gear. And we'll have to move that back and forth. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You still got a light over here yet? Yep. So Kevin actually remember earlier we took these inner seals out. Here for the axle shafts, we got new ones in there. Are you ready for this, dude?
Floss.
Floss it in there. All right, I'll hold that in there. He's gonna put the nut on there. Get that tightened down. Keep in mind we don't have the seal in there yet in case we got to pull something out and re-shim it. So there's a big old, you guys can see up there's a big hole as that ring gear spins around. It throws oil up in that hole and lubes those bearings, and it runs back out down here. Just like that, magic. How you doing over there?
Mine's not going in.
You gotta hold your mouth right.
Guess not.
All right, we got the pinion in there. We did have to take one shim out to get the, it had a little bit too much in play in it, and we took that out and we got about the right rotational torque on it. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but I just go off feel. Kevin's grabbing the carrier. We're gonna slam it in there and see what we gotta do for shimming and gear powder and all that cool stuff, right?
That's right.
Get your fingers out of the way. Oh, bud.
There we go.
You're gonna need more shims, I can tell you. We'll get started.
We're not even touching the teeth. Oh.
Is that how it's supposed to go?
Hey, bub.
What'd I order? All right, so she was tied in there. We're gonna take some shims out on this side and put in this side, so that means we gotta pull those bearings off and do it all over again. And we'll be back. All right, so we got closer now. Kevin's got the pinion locked back here. We're gonna check the backlash in here. We got like 9 thousandths there, Kevin. Yep, 9 thousandths. You guys can hear that clicking back and forth. That's basically the backlash in the gear, so I'm happy with that on the front end. What did they say, spec?
5 to 8.
5 to 8. We're not running a race car.
That's 1/1000th of an inch too much.
It's a front axle. So next thing we need to do, we may have to still move this. We need to paint this gear. We're going to look for a wear pattern. We should be sitting right in the middle of this gear here, not on the outside, so we should have some paint. We'll get that painted and we'll spin this dude around a few times and see how it how the pinion's sitting in there.
Okay, folks.
All right, so Kevin, since he's a master painter, what do you got there?
It had a little nipple on
Oh, you
it,
just cut the whole end of the cap. You know we got to use that on the back end too, right? Hopefully we'll use it today.
Listen, I probably got plenty of this all over my fingers to already.
So he's going to paint these gears in here, then we'll rotate this dude and see what kind of beautiful pattern we got here, Bobby Ross.
Wow, I wish I had some Bob Ross theme music right now.
Well, I could probably play some, but then it might be copyrighted. Just don't want to have any happy accidents, right?
That's right. I forget what he calls this.
I just need a little dabby dab.
Probably a little harvest yellow or something.
Probably need to paint, what, 2 or 3 gears?
Get that in there and
just dab it.
Dab it in, and then swipe. Dab and swipe.
Oh my.
Can't help it. Oh Bob, he was the man.
He was. Maybe we need to go in Kevin's corner and talk about that.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll let him finish painting that up and then we'll be back. You think you got it enough there, bud?
No.
We're gonna have to change your rear end fluid. It's gonna be full of yellow paint. You don't even need to paint the face of the gears. You're just trying to make it look pretty for camera, aren't you?
No, that's beautiful.
Yeah. We're getting ready to spin it and mess it all up, bud.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, YouTube's gonna be happy. All right, we gotta cross our fingers. Is that what it's gonna sound like when you're in 4-wheel drive?
No, it's gonna sound like this.
Let me turn it the other way too. It's looking good so far, bud. I'm liking what I see. You guys can see this paint sitting in the center of that gear is what we want to see. I think it's pretty good there, Kevin. We'll come around here and show her, folks. You guys can see the paint that come off the pinion sitting right in the center.
Yeah.
You can see where it's sitting in the center there. It's kind of hard to see on camera, I'm sure, but you guys can kind of see that mark here. It's almost beautiful, isn't it? See how we're sitting there right in the center, and we're sitting on the center there. So you can slide that pinion in and out. If we were sitting on here, we'd have to move the pinion, but that's pretty good. What do you think?
I think I nailed it on the paint.
That's pretty good for just me. Yeah, paint job's perfect.
Perfect.
Well, I'm happy with that for sure. Napa even gives you a little set of instructions there. You guys can see the correct mesh markings, and that's what we're seeing. So anyway, Napa sells a lot of rear ends. They're actually made by Richmond Gear, so they just rebrand them. I don't know how we got that lucky on the second try, but we did, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm going to call that golden on that dude. We're going to get all this button back up here. It's getting close to lunch. We're probably going to go eat some lunch. And then...
It's my favorite time of day.
Yeah. Maybe we can get that back tore apart and get it finished, and I can drive his truck this weekend, maybe. You know the back's not going to go as easy, right?
Why?
I don't know.
It's Fantastic Friday.
Fantastic Friday.
Everything good happens on Friday.
All right. I don't know if these guys want to see us put this all together in time lapse or not, but maybe you guys can leave.
Too bad.
Yeah. Leave comments below if you guys want to see this stuff on time lapse. I don't know what you want to see. I don't want to bore you either. So I know a lot of people like the time lapse when we put the dash back in there. So this stuff's all kind of generic stuff. But anyway, hopefully that works good. So I'm liking it. Let's beautiful for sure, ain't it? Now we just got to throw all this back together. But yeah, comment below if you guys want to see more of this time-lapse stuff or not. So, and we'll read your comments. All right, getting it together here. Kevin's getting some new bolts in the dust shield here. I wanted to show you something. This is actually a spindle that bolts on where the hub goes on there on the knuckle. They've got actually a couple seals here, and there's a little spindle bearing in there. I actually packed it full of grease. We got a new seal there for it. Something that gets overlooked a lot. There's actually a dust V-ring seal that goes around here too and keeps all the dirt and mud and stuff on there. So we got all those new on here. And I got the old anti-seize on here because usually those old knuckles don't like to pop off like these did, but make it nice on the next person. Isn't that right?
You're welcome.
We're gonna get those bolted on. If you guys not seen the last video when he's working on the brakes and the hubs, we did all that stuff out here. So got the cover on there glued on. We did get a new pinion seal on a while ago. I'm getting ready to bolt the drive shaft up. And I'll get all this stuff buttoned up and we'll head to the rear. I did put a new steering box on a few days ago too. You guys probably can't see it up in there. I did it off camera. He was kind of busy and in a hurry, and it's kind of hard to see up in there. The old one had a lot of play in it, so got that all taken care of. So she's pretty much all brand new now. So we'll get this together and move on to the back.
Not my wheel.
Did you get it?
Not my wheel. Perfect. See?
All right, moving on to the back here. We can actually leave the lift under these tires here. Reason is these have what they call full floating axle shafts. So we should just be able to unbolt this axle shaft, pull it out a few inches, and it will come out of the hogshead. So we'll do that on both sides, and then we'll get the cover off and drain the oil out and see what kind of good smells we got. Ready? Look at all that good silicone. All right, that should be all we have to do. Just a little bit of oil sitting in the hub. Should be pulled out there. I'll get this cover off here next. Boom, that's a big old gear back here. Did I get you?
We got a sprocket on the side of it?
No, that's
for your chain drive.
That ring right there runs your speedometer. That's what that does. All right, so I don't know if you guys seen, but I always like to mark these caps and put them back in the same spot. So I'm gonna mark this one as up. This is gonna be the passenger side. Okay, that one's up, and this will be the driver's. That way we don't get them mixed up. There she comes. She's giving birth.
My $15 margaritas are getting the best of me.
$15 margarita. You got it.
Oh, it's slippery. Oh, Bob. I don't know if I'm man enough.
This one's probably a little bigger.
I gotta get my fingers in there. All right, I got the clamp of death.
You got it?
Yep. Clamp of death. Run.
All right, we're going to the bench.
Pinion. Pinion.
Hang on a minute.
There's gotta be something holding it, right?
What'd you do? Did you get the washer out of there?
That's perfect.
Get the washer out. So this is just supposed to pop out like real easy, like a couple taps and it falls out.
Let's Google it.
Google it. So this bearing is apparently rusted to the shaft. We may have to get a little torch action in there. We got all new parts for this one anyway. What do you think? A little bit of heat maybe to pop?
Let's try it.
Okay. get this.
Oh, it went. Go ahead, catch it. Catch it with your glove.
Catch it.
Catch it with your glove. Quick, it's getting cold.
It's getting cold, he says. Go. Yeah, I bet that bearing's hot.
I ain't touching it.
Yeah, that's one way to take a pinion out. We didn't lose any shims in there, did we?
No, they're all in there.
I don't think she's been apart for a few days. You know, of all the things that we worked on this truck that's not been rusted, this is the last thing I would have thought of.
Yeah. Touch it.
No, I don't want to.
Touch it. Touch it.
It's a good place for it.
Yeah.
What do you think? This one's got a little bit of wearage. Uh-oh.
Got another Napa bill. Oh, I'm not giving that to Bridget.
Give it to Bridget. Don't put it over there.
Not it. Not it.
All right. Yeah, that was kind of, you guys see a little bit of rust there. A little stiction. We got a new bearing kit from Napa. Don't tell Bridget. All right, we'll get this one all disassembled. And what are you looking for?
Your gear.
It's in that box right there by your yellow clown shoes.
Oh.
You want to tell everybody why your shoes are yellow? You painted the 455 yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what kind of order these videos are going to come out in. Might be delayed. Anyway, all right, we're going to start yanking bearings off. We're going to put new bearings on here.
Probably should.
That'd be a good idea. Don't look that bad. But we got them, so we'll put them in there.
That's right.
All right, we got this new super cool tool here. I don't know if you guys seen it earlier. We was in time-lapse mode. So it basically got a cage, engages the two bearings, and that goes over there like so. And then you put this over there like so. Tighten that little jam nut up. And then, where's the 1 1/16 socket at? I think it's gone. It went back over there. And then we'll put this on there and pull that bearing right off there. Just like magic. See a little bit of rust on here. It tells me that truck was sitting in one spot for a long time. Some point in its life. Well, bud, I'm seeing problems down here. Back that back off there. Think you got a big enough impact?
It was all that thunder, wasn't it?
What we got going on here?
We chew up some shims.
I had a shim not in the right spot here.
She wasn't tight, that's for sure.
Oh, I think I had a shimmy under it. I had it all messed up. We'll have to measure those and put the same stack back under there. Pretend like nothing happened. I didn't see nothing.
Never mind.
Right? Did you find my new gear?
Yeah.
It looks like it's a little dirty. So we got the old gear off. I actually, when this truck got up around 55 mile an hour, the speedometer was doing it. So I'm wondering if those rusty teeth on here that I just polished up may have had something to do with that. Sounds like a good idea. So I polished those up, so we'll see if that goes away later on maybe. So you ready to throw it on there after you get the gooby gobbies out of it? Oh, that sounds about right. All right, we're gonna get that on there. We got the new bearing on this side and some shims. We'll put the ring gear on there, then we'll put the bearing on the other side, and then we'll put the pinion back in.
Let's do it!
Is that ever going to be off the lift ever again?
Don't be negative. You should come out here and talk about it.
Is it ever going to be driven on the road again? Like I have plates, I have insurance. Should I just call and cancel it?
We'll take it out to eat tonight.
Fix or repair.
We're gonna go to the football game later. We're going out tonight.
Fix
It might be 8
repair
o'clock, but
daily.
we're going out.
Says it right on the front of it.
First on race day.
No, fix or repair daily.
First on race day.
Just drive her up
Or
on the lift every day.
F over
Pull her
rebuilt Dodge.
We even have garage
You not heard that one? Leftover rebuilt Dodge. I wonder how many more comments we can get below with Ford. What do you call those acronyms? See, you like that big word?
Man,
I'm pretty proud of myself.
spell it.
Us too.
Go ahead.
There's no way.
We're proud too.
All right, we gotta keep working.
I keep
We
looking
got
out
caught.
the window thinking that I'll give you the plate to put on it.
I got a dealer plate on it. It's fine.
No, it's legit.
Tip tag.
Get back to work's what she's trying to say.
No.
All right, we're gonna pull this bearing off and act like we're doing something. Oh, that wasn't too bad.
Okay, which race was it?
This one here. I put the race. We need to start moving our races. This is our new one.
Did you say you were racist?
No, don't.
I can't believe you'd say that on
Race.
camera.
You probably can't even call those a race no more, can you?
No, I don't know. No.
We're gonna get flagged, bud. You're gonna quit
It was
talking.
nice seeing you guys and talking with you.
CNC equipment's done.
494.
All right, we're gonna get that yanked off, get some shims under there. There goes a forklift driver. I think Randy's coming with the D7. Look at the blade all tilted. All right. You gonna be all right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, we got a new bearing on the pinion. We put new races in the hogshead already. It actually had some shims underneath the bigger race, so we matched those up with some new ones. We got one more set of shims here we got to do. We got a set of shims that go under that shoulder right there, so we're going to mimic the old ones here with some new ones. We're at 44 thousandths roughly. So we're going to get kind of the same thing going on. And try that first and see what happens.
Show me your super sweet tooth. This is what happens when you own a Ford. All that power.
You want to tell them where you found it at?
I found it hiding in the rear end. But there's no teeth missing.
Yeah, Kevin found that little ear. It was up in between these bearings right here. If you guys can see this right here, this is all kind of shiny and beat up looking. That little piece was sitting up in here just bouncing around in there. Somebody's probably broke polishing it. Somebody's probably broke this in the past. There's nothing broken in these gears. I did see some wear and tear there on the end of that, a little bit of chipping, but I don't know what's going on there.
Call it Ford power.
It's all at 460 power. Maybe it was when I did that burn out. All right, we're gonna start with that. That's basically gonna set her in play on her rotational force, or in play on her pinion, I believe. I don't know if those are the right words, but anyway.
Sounds good.
We're gonna go put that on there. Probably use the old nut so we don't wear this one out. Well, you got a couple more. That goes. Where's that go?
Should be.
That's the washer for your nut. This goes under that, on top of that bearing right there, don't it?
Yep.
Yep. We'll get that in there and see what's what she's looking like. You got your old nut over here yet? And we got those new races in there. Looking all good. All right, so we've had this pinion in here a couple times. We've got it tightened up now. I actually just took the nut off, but still got a little bit too much drag in it. I had to add one shim. So we're gonna take it out. We probably need about another 5 thousandths, but it's just a little bit too snug yet. So Kevin's gonna knock it out here and we'll get another little shimmy put on it. We should be looking real close. All right, as you can see, this is looking a little bit different here. I got another pro tip for you. So if you guys don't know, the nuts that hold these pinions on, the yokes, are usually lock nuts. You guys can see that one's not doing real hot there. They're stamped steel lock nuts, so like the outside, you can see that taper is actually the locking part. And they're real good at stripping threads out, as you guys can see. So I actually used the old one. We were trying to set this bearing preload here. And we've had it in there about 4 times, so We got it right the last time, but we had to take it back out to put the pinion seal and stuff back in there. When we did, it decided to strip out the end of that shaft. So thankfully I got it cleaned up here in the lathe. I actually cut some threads out here early this morning, got it fixed up. Tucker actually went and got me a new nut here. I got a regular nut this time. We actually have lock nuts too, so I think we've avoided crisis situation there. So we're actually into the good threads there. We should be fine. Like I say, I've got some lock nuts, so I should have got a regular nut to begin with while I was doing that, because these things are so destructive. Even like on hydraulic cylinders and stuff, they just destroy threads. So anyway, we got our threads all cleaned up here. They're looking good there in the spot that matters anyway. So I actually got, it's actually the next day here, it's Saturday. I got a special helper here today. Kevin's not working today, so I'm gonna get this out of there and we'll go back and stick her in the truck, hopefully for the last time. All right, got the pinion in there, got her tightened up. Everything's looking good there. Guess who we got? You got the light on backwards, bud.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
There you go, put it right back where you had it.
Oh, well, that would probably make sense.
So you gotta act like Kevin.
I can't do that, I'm good.
Why not? You don't wanna act goofy?
No.
Okay. Anyway, we got that in there. We're ready to throw the ring and pin, or the ring gear in there. That's what they call the pinion gear. So, are you gonna grab this big heavy chunk of iron?
Sure.
Sure. All right, we'll get you set up here.
You got it?
It's heavy. Looks like it's a little bit tight on their pinion too. So that means we need to take, see there's shims right here?
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta take shims out of here to make it go over that way. We'll add them over here, but since we're a little tight, we'll probably take one shim out of here and leave out and put this back together. So we gotta take that over and pull the bearing out and all that good stuff. Try again. All right, take two. You put the shim in there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, take three. What we gotta do now is check the backlash in the pinion. You gotta have a little bit of lash in between the gears. Hear that clicking sound?
Mm-hmm.
Guessing it, I think the new one said 5 to 8. Might be a little bit tight. You can usually tell by, feel that planer, grab a hold of that pinion and you'll hear it rock back and forth. Just that little bit. See that right there?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell from experience it's probably a little bit on the tight side. It'll be close.
Oh, my hood.
So if we wanted to change, what's your head?
I'm trying not to get in the way of it.
So right now, we'll test it here and see where we're at, but I'm guessing we're a little bit close. They don't care if you get in the way. I'm gonna set this dial caliper up where it reads on this gear here. That's reading on the tooth. I have to slide this over a little.
This reminds me of truing a wheel.
Yep. Even if we get this set, we're still not in the home stretch yet. I'll show you why. So we're gonna click this back and forth. We've only got, see that gauge there? Only got 2 thousandths. I said it sounded a little tight.
And you need 5?
Yeah, I think it's 5 to 8. On new stuff, worn stuff, you can go a little bit more. So, yeah, we got right at 2 thousandths. So what we're gonna have to do is take a shim out of, so we gotta move this gear over away from that pinion. So we know we got our width right, so we're gonna have to take a shim from out of here and add to over here. It's gonna give us a little more space. That sound cool?
Makes sense.
One more time. All right, we're gonna get that out and swap her one more time and see if we get it.
Got it on.
All right, we got the ring gear back in there. A little bit more noise, you guys can hear that clicking. Still pretty tight. I took, we took 5 out and put it on the other side. Basically is what we done, didn't we? Put your base on there.
Is it just magnetic or?
There's a switch here.
Oh.
See, it's turned off.
You can turn the magnet?
Yeah, that turns on. Leave it off.
Oh.
Kind of get it sitting on there where you want some pressure on this gauge.
You want it like right there?
Yep, that's fine. Make sure you're not rubbing the bottom of that shaft here. You can move this a little bit. All right, you should be good.
Right on there.
Where are you sitting at? 82 thousandths? What's it moving to? What's it between? It's going from...
Where do you go? 82 to
85. 75?
almost.
That's 7 thousandths. It's right in the middle where we want to be.
What was it? 5 to what?
I think 5 to 9 is what the sheet says.
No.
So yeah, we took 2 out, and or we moved 5 over, so that should have gave us 7. So that's what we got. Yep. Might be 6 to 7. That's right where we want to be. So we're all good. Just that easy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got one more step to do. You take this off. I showed these people on the first one, but since you're here, we've got to paint these gears. We got a little paintbrush and some stuff there. We got to paint these gears and see where that pinion gear is riding in this gear here. So we'll get some paint and paint that. All right, we got our gear painted, and we're looking pretty good. You see how that yellow paint wore off and sitting right in the center of that gear there, Tucker?
Oh, you're trying to see where it was.
Well, you can see here where it hit here. You can see where the gear hit there in the center.
Yeah.
But I always like to look on where the pinion hits.
That makes sense.
See how it's sitting painted right in the center of the tooth? You want it right on the center. See right there?
Yeah.
It's riding right in the center. We look at the top side. It's riding right in the center. So if that wasn't in the center, then we'd have to take this back out, and there's shims behind the bearing of that pinion race. So we'd have to take those out. Maybe we can, you know, take shims out, slide the pinion back, or add shims, bring it out here. Then we have to do this whole process over again.
That would suck.
It does. So we've had that pinion out like 4 or 5 times. We did this, what, 3 times or 4?
Not 4th time.
4th time. The front I got in 1 time, but we used the original bearings. That's what happens when you use new bearings. But anyway, we got her all set, looking good, just like brand new. So we can get drive shaft, all that good stuff back on there. We got to put the lock nut on her yokes. We just got that regular nut right now in case we had to take it apart. Get her diff covers on there, get some oil in it, and you can take it for a test drive.
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't drove it yet. I don't know about that.
Nothing better than doing it on camera, right?
I don't know. I'd rather. I don't know.
All right, we're gonna get all this stuff buttoned up, get this stuff siliconed up, the cover and stuff, and let it be dry, and we'll clean some of these tools up. And then Mr. Tucker can take us for a drive.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you'll be fine.
On camera?
You'll be fine. Oh yeah. All right, so I was gonna show Tucker this. I'll show you guys too. You guys see I've got the axle shaft pulled out of the truck here. I got all the silicone cleaned off here. There's always oil residue in these hubs, and oil and silicone don't mix, right?
Yeah, right. I guess so.
So if you get oil in there, the silicone's not gonna stick. So if you guys see, I've got a little dam built out of some grease there. So that grease is gonna hold any of that oil residue back and keep it from running out in that silicone.
That makes sense.
Till it dries. So if not, you've got oil running out in between there, and it's gonna wash your silicone out. So that grease is not gonna hurt nothing. It'll melt back into oil later on. So
yeah, that makes sense.
all right, pro tip today. Thumbs up.
I would have not thought of that.
Well, now you know it. That's why I'm teaching you. All right. We got her all filled up with fluids, didn't we?
Yeah.
Tucker's ready to set her down on the ground. Then, yeah, that one's a little bit low. See the yellow light on right there? Yeah. So these lifts show, stop her a second, Tucker. So that's 47 inches is what that is from the floor. That's the, that other number. That's 47 inches, and that's a channel number. This next number you see is actually the weight. It's showing 2,200 pounds on this lift right here. So you can go around to all those, add those together, and it's going to tell you a rough idea what the truck weighs. You want to see what it weighs? This one's 1,700. You got your calculator?
No.
You calculating this in your head?
Sure, I'll do it.
This one is...
That one was 17.
Yeah, this one's showing 24. It must be leaned this way. This one was showing 2100, I believe. 21, 22. What was this one? It's flashing between 22 and 23, so if you want to say 23. 8,500 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right. I know a single cab truck is like 8,000, so we got that aluminum bed. But that could be off a couple hundred pounds too, but probably. That gives you a pretty close idea how much your truck weighs. Isn't that cool?
Not mine, yours.
My truck. All right, set her on down.
Hold on.
I had somebody comment that my lifts were slow. I think they might have been referring to how slow they go down. They go up pretty quick. The reason it's going down so slow, these lifts are rated at 13,000 pounds a piece. So these 4 lifts will pick up 52,000 pounds. So being this truck only weighs 8,500 or so, there's not much weight to pull it down. So if we had something big and heavy on there, it'd come flying down. So that is the reason for that. I had a couple people commenting about how slow it was. So these lifts are way overkill. Like say 1 lift will pick up this truck pretty easy. So we'll get that down, get these out of the way. We got to top off that power steering box because I put a new power steering box in there. And you gonna be ready to drive it?
I don't know.
You can handle it.
I know I can, but I don't know.
Alright, we're gonna go for a little drive. Tucker's never drove his truck. And I did turn it up on number 6 and I didn't tell him, so he's gonna be in for a surprise. How'd it feel?
You're like the gas pedal or the throttle, I guess you could call it. It's like so far down there.
That's a man's truck.
It's like in your clutch release is super late.
Yep, it's a little stiff too. It's got that real man's clutch in it.
I can barely reach the pedal, it's so far down
It's
there.
because it's electric. You used to drive Hunter's Bronco. We got it raised up.
Yeah,
You can tell it's geared taller. I used to take off in
so
second.
weird. It's so weird. Like compared to his Bronco or the, I don't know, anything else is weird.
We probably better wait on the gate to close. We're gonna go up the road.
Which way?
We'll go left. Let's wait on the gate to shut. Alright, you got it. Second gear takeoff. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Why's that?
I don't know.
You never drove in a power stroke with a manual, have you? That's 5th gear, bud. You might want to put it 3rd. No pressure.
No, it's like, it doesn't feel right because the gears are just so much different.
Well, it's a little bit different transmission than Hunter's.
Apparently.
Alright, we'll get up her unstretched and maybe you can get on her and see what she feels like.
Maybe.
Maybe.
A rocket ship.
Rocket ship.
Yeah.
Alright. So you're what, 4th gear?
Yeah.
So at 60 we were touring 2600 for. Go ahead and get on her. And wait till she boosts up. Don't shift this thing. Woo! Get it up to 60 and see how many RPMs we turn it. That right there. Sitting about 2,000 RPM.
Yeah.
So we dropped it 600 RPM. Get on her. You got some power or what?
Yeah, I totally got some power. Or do you just want me to turn around the gravel up here?
Yeah, we'll turn around up there. The leaves are getting pretty anyway.
Yeah.
A little bit more power than you used to, don't it?
Yeah.
I may have turned it up a couple notches. I don't drive it that all the time. Go ahead and go her in 5th.
a work truck should have that much power.
No, I don't usually drive it in that. I just turned it up so you can see the reaction on your face.
What's it? What was it in?
It's in number 6. You haven't even had it on the floor yet, though, have you?
What gear am I in?
You could have left it. Don't hit this car. It's coming. You're scaring me.
Well, your gear's not right.
You're used to driving Hunter's Bronco. They're just fine. There you go.
I don't know. It's Hunter's Bronco. You got so much space in it.
Yeah, it's got a different transmission. It's a little more wide ratio. This one's tied together. I like how it's geared better though.
It's like wound out before, not wound out.
Before we was going out our driveway in 4th gear.
Really?
Yeah, that's how low it was geared. It was way, like we was turning 2,000 RPM at 60, it was turning 2,600 before. Which is still pretty low, be plenty low enough. I might take it for a spin here in a bit.
You probably should instead of me. Probably be a good idea. That's how it's done right there, other than installing it a few times, but yeah.
Well, what'd you think?
Fun. I think it would be more fun if I got used to it.
Used to it?
Yeah.
I turned it back down number 1 so it'd be normal
if
now.
that was in the Bronco, then that would be.
That's too dangerous. 6
it's
is
for the
plumb,
Bronco,
plumb for the track. But it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's hard to do a burnout with the clutch too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. If you guys liked all this stuff, definitely give us a big thumbs up. Hit that little like button down below. It helps us out a lot. And you've got stickers for sale.
Yeah.
So if you guys go on our website, there's a link down below. Look, he's got stickers right here.
In the pocket.
That's right.
Always prepared.
You know, you should have the people comment below on what kind of new stickers you need to come up with. New design.
I don't know about that.
No, here, this is what we're gonna do. Down below, everybody can comment on a new design, and whichever one we pick, Tucker will give a free sticker away. You gotta come up with some designs. If you guys got any cool designs or any cool stuff, send it to the email down below at sales@ccsurplus.com, and Tucker will give you a swag pack, some stickers, hat, maybe even t-shirt if it's real good, huh?
Yeah, I saw you had a bunch up there.
Yeah, so we got t-shirts for sale, stickers. All the money from stickers goes to Tucker, so you're supporting a local cause there. Yeah. Young kid. So hopefully you guys like that. I'm happy with the gearing so far. I'm gonna drive it a little bit more and find out. Still geared low, but if I ever want to pull something with it or haul something big with it, it will be doing good. So
it's not gonna replace the Dodge, is it?
no, I'm gonna keep the Dodge. So maybe later on this winter, if we get caught up a little bit, I'm gonna do something about this silver color here. I don't like that, do you?
I already know what color you're gonna paint it.
Everybody knows what color I'm gonna paint it.
Yeah.
They've already guessed it, so that's later on down the road. We've got dozers to work on and all kinds of cool stuff. So
some chrome wheels.
yeah, we're gonna have to do something there. It's kind of oddball because it's 10 load. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Didn't make too many of those. So anyway, I hope you guys like this. Comment below on sticker ideas, and like I say, we'll get something going on that. So and if you guys not done so and you want to see this truck all prettied up and painted up blue later on, you might consider subscribing so you don't miss out. And yeah, I think that's it, ain't it?
I think so.
I thought it was it on the last video of this truck, but finally about got all the hiccups out of it. So and the gear change to be good. So anyway, guys, we thank you for watching.